Who knew that saying I would require a non-refundable deposit to take me on a date in 2026 would send so many broke men into a spiral? It's almost like they forget that I am paying for a babysitter, transportation, nails, hair, makeup, time, effort. Most of those things cost me money. And yes, I am now dating with intention. I am dating to marry, and I am going to marry a provider. And if that offends you in any way, you were never my target audience. It's like so funny to me that my content is actually rage bait for angry men, because I originally started posting for the girls and just to connect with like other single moms and women in general. But triggering men actually accidentally just became my favorite new hobby. So I'm going to keep doing that.
So I think I have come up with a way to fix dating apps and to kind of fix this like non-committal issue that is going on right now, especially here in Melbourne. But earlier this week, I was complaining about how I had been cancelled on 3 times within 24 hours for different dates, which, yes, all the people that are saying, oh, she just wants free dinner, this idea probably doesn't really shut you up. But basically, I feel like they need to implement that if you cancel a date within 24 hours, you get charged like a little fee, and then maybe the app could get like 50% of the fee, but then the person cancelled on could also get 50% of the fee. And like maybe it's only like $10, but I know I go to my gym even when I'm like super hungover because I do not want to pay that like $15 cancellation fee. So food for thought. Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, hit me up, ready to consult.
2 reasons why there's no excuse for men not to pay for the first date. Reason number 1 is pre-date expenses. Usually beautifying the outfit, getting your nails done, waxing. I know the response is like women do this for themselves and that men don't need us to pay for it. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Obviously we do it for ourselves, but what men think is natural is not natural, and the expectations put on women are what created this idea that we have to pay for this stuff. So like, I don't even want to hear it. Cost of all of this on a regular basis is a lot more than the first date will ever cost. And then of course, there's just like the feeling of general safety. Let's not forget the time it takes to get ready. But honestly, these are not as important as the post-date expenses. And guys, that's reason number 2. You're gonna need therapy after your date. I need a back brace from carrying the conversation. You're probably gonna want to see a comedy show to remember that there are funny men out there. His crusty fingernails are probably gonna give you nightmares. He's gonna give you an esophagus kiss. He's gonna give you a headache. You're gonna go on a creepy date. It's gonna make you feel so uncomfortable that you're gonna run home and shower for a month. He's gonna ask you questions like this. Bottom line is it's really expensive being a girl and there is no excuse. Let me know what you think. I don't wanna hear from the men that are like, women don't have to pay for all the beautifying stuff. I don't have the energy to argue with you, but you are wrong.
Okay, if you're a man, you don't have to pay on the first date. No one is making you. You can go 50-50 if that's what you want for your relationships. However, as a rule, people like to be paid for. People like when you're generous, and you probably will have a lot more success in dating and in relationships if you just are a generous person. Since men consistently struggle to get women more than women struggle to get men, there is more pressure on you to show your best qualities. You can't just show up and look pretty. That's my job. So it is to your benefit to pay on the first date or pay as much as you can. You don't have to. No one's making you. But out of my women friendships, I've never heard someone say like, I love how he goes 50-50 and never ever pays for me. I love that he never gets me gifts or wants to be generous. I have only ever heard positive things from women I know in real life about men who pay. Even women who are willing to split, it's still a positive when a man pays.
If a guy asks you out on a date, he has to pay. There is no reason why you girls should be going 50-50. Hell no. And there's nothing wrong with asking the guy like, hey, so we're gonna split the bill. Who's gonna pay if we go out? Ask them. If you feel like you have some doubts, ask them. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm straight up all the time. I have no hairs in my tongue. I do not care. And if he says like, oh, well, I was thinking we could split it the first time. Oh, there won't be a first time. And that's it.
If a guy asks you out on a date and he doesn't pay for the date, you're never seeing him again, right? Same thing with lesbians. If it doesn't change the rule, if you ask someone out on a date and you don't pay for the date entirely plus tip, it's like part of planning the date. You're picking the place, which also means you're picking something that makes sense for your income. Then you want to ask them to pay for the date. It's tacky. I'm sorry. I just don't know why this is an argument, you know?
Let me tell y'all why it's so hard for me to date. It is so hard for me to date because I can literally do so much for myself. Like, I'm so independent, y'all. I can take care of myself. I could buy myself whatever I want. I can go buy a new car if I wanted to, bitch. I can do so much for myself, okay? When a man come into my life and think he not finna do shit for me, that's where it goes wrong every single time. Because why would you think I'm finna settle for the bare minimum? And I don't even give the bare minimum to myself. Bitch, I buy myself flowers. I spoil myself. I buy my own clothes, shoes, food, everything. Bitch, why would you think you're gonna come into my life and give me the bare minimum? And think I'm supposed to accept that? See, the problem is some of these men, they would hate to see a woman on top. They would hate to see a woman flourishing and getting more. Like, they don't like the fact that a woman could get more than what they could do for themselves. Like, baby, I don't need a man to take care of me. He never gave bum. I'm not a bum, baby. I take care of myself. But if you're in my life and I'm laying in the bed with you, you're gonna take care of me. You're gonna do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna sit there and lay down with somebody who wouldn't even pay my fucking bills. And that's just me keeping it real. Why? Because I could pay my own bills. I can come out of pocket for my own bills. Never needed a man, but if I'm with a man, baby, yeah.
Baby, I'm at the age where I need a motherfucking provider. Bitch, I need a provider. Bitch, I'm not messing with nobody for who they is anymore. Because they be the main motherfuckers that mistreat you. Because you know why? You get comfortable for allowing a bare minimum. When you go in a relationship and you let them know exactly what the fuck you want and what you deserve and that you ain't selling for less, and if they don't do what you deserve, then you're not fucking with them, that be the ones that's gonna actually do something for your ass. But if you go in a relationship and be like, oh, I don't care what you do for me, I just love you for who you is, we gonna try to elevate together. Fuck no! That be the same motherfucking people that give you the bare minimum. You know why? Cause you okay with that shit. Life is life and bills is billing. Don't get me wrong, bitch. I'm gonna love you for you. But you gotta put something in a motherfucking booth, bitch. Something. And yes, I got my own motherfucking money, but I want your... Baby, I want your motherfucking money too.
I've never met a man who's protected and provided.
Really?
Yes.
Like when you're walking across the street, he walks on the side of the cars?
No.
That never happened?
No.
And a man's never paid for a date for you?
No, we've always split.
Every time?
Yes.
Damn. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I know.
So you're not okay with splitting the bill?
No, I'm okay with it, but like, if a man wants to be in charge, then he should have to pay for everything.
So you won't truly respect a man unless he pays for everything?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But you're saying a man is someone who provides and protects?
Yeah.
Okay, so then a woman is just someone who lets the man provide and protect. Because the woman can do that by themselves. They're just letting them do it.
So women are strong and independent?
Yes, 100%.
Independent of what?
And what do you mean?
Like what are they independent of?
Women can literally do anything, but we just let a man do it for us.
The amount of men that are broke, don't want to be providers, or spend their money to take a woman out to nice places, what do you want then? Do you even like women? Maybe you should be dating men. These types of guys are wondering what they're getting in return when they're getting her presents. Women can afford their own dinner. They don't need to be there, and they don't understand. There can only be one princess.
Can we talk about why a woman of substance that has built a life for herself, that has bought her own home, pays all her own bills, is essentially an adult that's growing in her career, in her life, in her mental state, is going to want to be with a guy that has no money? Not having money isn't just the fact that you can't buy her things, but it just shows that you don't have a growth mindset. You're not driven. You're lazy. You're just a guy that's settling for the bare minimum. When a girl has put in so much time, so much work into building her life, into building her career, you can't tell me it makes sense for a girl to want more for her partner. You have to be able to at least say that you put in the same amount of effort, if not more. A woman wants, at some point, most want to get married. They want to have a family. They want to have children. If you're doing the bare minimum and you are barely getting by yourself, you can't support any children. Why would a girl want to be with you? Yet it's the same guys that are saying like, oh, gold diggers. And it's the guys that are like, oh, I make 6 figures a year and thinking they're doing something great. Like, no one's gold digging off of their free Applebee's meal. Like, just stop. But if you can't provide the same life, if not better, for a woman that's providing it for herself, why would she want to be with you? And this isn't me saying this is how I live. This is just a perspective that I'm curious about. Because you hear guys online complaining all the time about, I'm not buying her dinner. She's a gold digger. I don't know. It's wild. But let me know.
I've been seeing a lot of discourse lately about like the whole 50-50, having your man pay the bills. And you know, to each their own. If 50-50 truly works for you, then that is completely fine. As long as it's actually 50-50, not just financially. But here's my point, right? I've been seeing a lot of women saying that it's anti-feminist to have your man provide for you and pay all the bills. And here's the thing, right? I believe that men invest in things that they want. I feel like they are fine with putting down money for women that they cherish and that they truly love. I would have to completely disagree that having a provider man is anti-feminist, just because a lot of women believe that when they go 50-50 financially with a man, that man is truly not interested in them, and most of the time, it's not even 50-50, responsibility-wise. Am I saying that women should only rely on men? Hell no. Even if you're with a provider man, you should still have your own money, you should still have your own business or career, because then he knows he can't control you. Love you guys.
Notice how women who are in a relationship with a provider are a lot happier than those women who are in 50-50 relationships.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if he's paying the mortgage so that you can use the money that you make to get your nails done, your hair done, have the occasional TJ Maxx run, get a coffee every now and then he's still providing for you. He's putting a roof over your head, and it gives you the freedom to do the other little girly things that you want to do. And gratitude is a really lost virtue in today's society, especially amongst women. Like, for some reason, we think that we're entitled to millions of dollars and vacations 24/7 and buying anything we want and just spending all the money we want. And that's just not reality. And if this is something that you're struggling with, like, you look at your husband and think that he's not enough, and the money he makes is not enough, and the job he does is not enough, and the work that he does is not enough, and you look at your life and you say that it's not enough and the things you have are not enough, and you want to spend more money and you want to have more things, number one, I would encourage you to take a few days, weeks, or months off of social media. Like, get tapped into your reality and not other people's 1% reality that's on social media. And the second thing I would say is to practice gratitude out loud and saying things and saying, I am grateful for it, thank you God for this, and speaking it out loud. Because the truth is if you have running water, food, and a roof over your head, you're doing better than 90% of the population. If you have a man who works hard for you, regardless of how much money he makes, you are doing better than a lot of people. And you're not entitled to just swipe the credit card and spend all of his money. A really great chapter of the Bible for you to read is Philippians chapter 4, specifically verses 4 through 14. And it's Paul writing from prison. And he's basically talking about how contentment is the secret to life. It's the secret to enjoying your life. And I'm paraphrasing, but he says, I know how to live on everything and I know how to live on almost nothing. And I'm content in both situations. Like, if you're watching this video right now, you're doing better than most of the population.
Never in a million years did I think I would be saying this. When a man wants to take care of you, it's something special. I've been with my partner for almost 4 years. I've watched him grow into such an incredible, amazing, successful, talented human. I literally watched him just like bloom before my eyes. He has been saying things recently that I'm not used to, where he's like, I think I'm gonna start paying for your manicures and pedicures every month. Like, I think I should be paying for that. Okay. I got a little stressed this month because I had some big bills to pay. Right away, he's like, don't worry, take my card. What do you mean, take your card? Take my card. If you need to go get yourself some lunch, you want to get yourself a coffee, whatever it is, like, just use my card. And I was like, for my birthday? Look what he got me for my birthday. Look what this man got me for my birthday. What? It was crazy because I literally told him for my birthday, I was like, I don't need nothing crazy. Like, I just want to get away with you for like a day. I want to wake up somewhere else in the mountains. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to do that and get you something else. And he got me those. I know. Last night we were talking and I was like, I just want to thank you for like really being a provider for me this last month. Like, it's really felt so good, and it's been really special, and it's not anything I would have ever thought to ask you for, but the fact that you've just done it so willingly and like without even batting an eye really made me feel closer to you. And it wasn't so much about the finances rather than his automatic willingness. Without a doubt, you need it, I got it. And he was like, yeah, what if I'm just trying to get rich so I could take care of you? You want me to cry? And I told him, I was like, no, I'm always going to want to work for myself. And he also wants me to work for myself. But the fact that he's like, if shit ever hit the fan and you couldn't pay rent and you couldn't pay this, like, I've got you. He needs to get the ring. We're working on that, ladies. We're working on that. But damn, I can't even lie to you. It is a very special feeling, especially as a girl who didn't have it growing up. I just look at him with googly eyes. I'm like, you just look at me and you just want to take care of me? Oh my gosh. Damn, is it healing. So Sprinkle Girls, I get it. I get the lore. But I do have to say, it feels even better when you get it without asking and simply just because they want to. I get it. That's not the case for a lot of people. I never thought that would be the case for me. Not because I don't think he's a giving person, but it's just not something I thought about. And when it happens, it's like, wow, this is nice. This is nice.
As a hyper independent girl that does everything for herself, I don't really yearn for a boyfriend until I see videos and I then go, oh wait, that would actually be so nice. Like, I just watched a video of a girl saying, I just got finished work really late and it's pissing rain and I forgot an umbrella. So my boyfriend insisted on picking me up. And she's showing a video of him waiting across the street, holding her pink umbrella, and he's kind of dancing, excited to pick her up, to walk her home. And then I go, must be nice.
You know what I just don't understand? So many men on their dating profiles will be like, unusual skills, getting my hoodie back after you stole it. My brother in Christ, who said we even want your nasty ass, smelly, probably hasn't been washed in 5 years hoodie in the goddamn first place? And it's just so, I don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm not one of those people that enjoys wearing other people's clothes, especially a man's clothes. I just don't see the appeal in that. But it's baffling to me how many men in their profiles have that as like a prompt. Like, be original.
I know inflation is real because men don't even send bottles to the tables anymore. In pre-COVID, I used to go out with my girls and we wouldn't spend a dime. Like, that was guaranteed. Like, that was common knowledge. We weren't going to spend a single dollar because guys from a distance would just be like sending Patron, Casamigos, like, enjoy. Not even try to come to us to talk, to harass us, bother us, nothing. I know people have had horror stories of like guys that would buy you a drink, bottles, and then if you wouldn't pay them attention, or they assumed that because they bought you a drink or a bottle, they were going to take you home with them. And if you didn't, then they would like hurt you outside of the club. I'm Dominican. I never experienced that. We used to be in the Dominican clubs in the city, in Jersey, everywhere. And the bottle girl would just come up to us like, hey, they asked to cover your tab, or these guys sent you this bottle, and those from afar just like wave like, enjoy, enjoy. Not even come up to us and try to harass us. Like, literally just like, enjoy. Ahora, ni una hookah, mi amor. Nothing. Not even a hookah refill. Inflation, man. Inflation's got us girls spending our own money. I don't like it.
Can I just say it's extremely frustrating that no one talks to each other on the street anymore. I just walked out of Whole Foods. There was a guy I was staring at while shopping, and he was staring at me. I was clearly interested in him, giving him all the signs, and he still didn't approach me. But like, I also didn't approach him, and what does that say about me? I guess I have to be that person in this modern day because men don't pursue women anymore. Like, I just want to be pursued, and I guess I am part of the problem.
A black woman asked her first date to meet her at a nail salon and pay her $500 bill. The man cleverly retaliated against her. The two met through a dating app and agreed to meet in person for the first time. The man said he followed the location she sent him, expecting a cafe or a public place, but he was surprised when he arrived and saw it was a nail salon. According to his account, the woman immediately told him that if he paid her $500 beauty bill, she would take him back to her home afterward. He said he already felt uncomfortable with the setup and began regretting the date, especially after noticing a bandage on her knee that made him question the entire situation. Still, he did not directly turn her down. Instead, he pretended to agree to her request and even encouraged her to add more services. As a result, the bill increased to nearly $1,000. Salon staff said the man waited until the service was almost done, then quietly left the building, got in his car, and drove away. The woman reportedly became upset when she learned he had disappeared and that she was responsible for the full bill. Some people argue the man should have been honest and declined the request instead of misleading her. Others believe he avoided being taken advantage of, saying she set up the date with the expectation he would pay for unrelated beauty services. Do you think the man handled the situation correctly?
Guys, I feel like I've said this so many times, but being mean to someone is not flirting with them. I went out the other night with my friend. This man would not leave us alone. He came out to us and he said, "Hi girls, I'm from Miami." And we were like, "Okay, thank you." And then he was like, "Name a club in Miami." I own it. I didn't ask that. Okay, well, I hate you. Thank you. I don't want to know things like that. Like, that's personal to you. Keep it to yourself. So then he was like, "Can I get you guys a drink?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry. We're on a date and we're gay," even though we weren't on a date. But I just hated him. And then he was like, "You're a lesbian?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not. I'm bi." But like, I just wanted to lie to him. And he was like, "No, you're not." "Baby, no, you're not." And I was like, "Yes, I am." So then I started getting like defensive because I hated it. Like we were fighting. I was just fighting with him at the bar. I like, did not like this guy at all. So I was like, "Yes, I am." And I pulled up my podcast and I showed him that it was like called For the Girls. And like my last episode was like how to hook up with girls for the first time. And he was looking at the titles of the podcast episodes and he was still like, "Baby, no, you're not. You're not." Which it's funny because like he was right. I'm not a lesbian, but still it was making me madder and madder that he wouldn't listen to me. By the way, if a girl walked up to a table of two guys and they were saying, "Sorry, we're in a relationship and we're not interested," she would walk away. She wouldn't stay at the table insisting to buy them a drink because she would understand that she was either getting rejected or they were in a relationship. She would not say, "I don't care. I'm buying you a drink no matter what, whether you like it or not." But then my friend did steal his credit card. But he wanted us to, like, I don't care. Then we started telling him that we were like going through a breakup and we needed like girl talk, which by the way, our stories stopped making sense. We were trying to use any excuse in the book. He looks at my shoes and he was like, "What kind of shoes are that?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know you. I hate everything that you say and I hate everything that you do." And he was like, "They're really dirty." "Okay, well, I'm going to steal 3 more of your credit cards." So basically, don't be rude at the end. Like, even if I steal your credit card, don't tell me my shoes are dirty and I hate you. Thanks.
Some of the most foul and ugliest men do not want to spend money on women. They will claim that a woman is a gold digger. God forbid for wanting a gentleman to like get her a glass of wine or get her a nice little dinner or something cutesy when you're spending time with her. God forbid a woman wants to be with a provider. But I'm telling you right now, the guys that complain about actually having to spend some money on a woman, they're always ugly. Something's going on with them where they like know they're ugly and they cannot stand like knowing they have to pay for a woman because they think like maybe that's all they have to offer, which is not true. Women do not just look at you and think to themselves like, "Oh, I only want to use you for money." No. Yeah, I'm editing, but to add this in here, that some women will of course use men just for their money, but the majority of women who want a provider aren't using that as an excuse to like just want a guy to pay for everything for them. It's more about the gentlemanly action and not just about using them for money. Although some women are like that, but majority of women are not like that. Women just feel safe around you when they know they feel protected and provided for. And these dummies don't even realize like when you spend money on a woman, she will make your life so much better. She will add to your life and make it more abundant. You will feel so much love from her because if you're pouring into her, she will pour back into you 10 times more. But these dum-dums don't realize that. They don't realize that when you actually want to provide for that woman, she will feel the most feminine, loving, and give so much back to that woman or to that man. But all they see is just money. My money is being spent. Okay, what else would you rather spend it on? Your boys? Like, You want to be alone? You want to be alone and sit on your couch and be alone? Or do you want a beautiful woman by your side to spoil and take care of, and she takes care of you, and you have a fun partnership and do fun things together and companionship? But you want to complain about maybe spending a little bit of extra money to enjoy that woman's company. Okay, it's either that or you're by yourself or you're alone. Pick and choose your battles here. This is exactly why you guys are lonely, because you complain about stupid shit. You complain about stupid shit, and it's your one damn job to just provide and be a provider. God forbid you're a provider. Oh my God. Do you know what that's gonna do for you? You would get laid probably every night. You would literally get gourmet meals. Like, hello? You guys are so stupid. You're not doing it right. Like, it just blows my mind when these men, like, complain about spending money on a woman. It's freaking mind-blowing. It's crazy.
Here's why women are deleting Hinge almost instantly. Men are out here lying about their ages. And we're not talking about lying about their ages by a year or 2 years. No, men are out here lying about their ages by 10 years. That is not a mistake. That is intentional. And if you can so easily lie about your age, what else are you going to lie about? No self-respecting woman is going to go on a date with you or be told on the date that you're 10 years older and stay on the date. Men are also not putting their profession in their profile. You don't need to put like the exact company you work for, but you can put lawyer, finance, marketing. I'm not going to go on a date with someone if I don't know what you do for a living. If you are over the age of 30 or in your 40s, you need to put in your profile if you have or do not have children, and if you want or do not want children. That should be such a given. The fact that people are leaving that out is, again, very weird, because I'm not going to go on a date with someone and then find out, oh, I don't want kids when I want kids. That's a waste of everyone's time. Then we also have the men that lie about their height. Women don't want to show up to a date and they're thinking a man is 6'1" and in fact he's 5'9". Like, we're gonna notice. Women are allowed to have a preference on their height, just like men are allowed to have a preference if you like a blonde or a brunette. We just need to, in general, be honest about everything. People are just leaving out information, and then we're all spending time on dating apps for men to not message first, or at all, or send a dry hey, or just be pen pals. Like, sorry, no. We're on a dating app. Be intentional, put in effort, plan a date.
If you're a struggling single girly right now and you're wondering where all the good men are, because trust me, I wondered this too in the past, let me put you onto this hack. What is this hack, you may ask me? Well. It is intentionally dating, intentionally, in the right areas. So no, we are not going to be on Tinder, we're not going to be on Hinge, maybe Raya, and we are not going to be going out to the bars and the clubs hoping to meet someone there. We're not going to be going on first dates to get drinks, or we're not going to go do Netflix and chill first dates. We are going to set our intentions very, very high from the start, and we are going to start dating and start frequenting the places where we would want our future husbands to be hanging out at. Let me just name out a few examples really quick. The golf course. Do you want your future husband to golf? I sure do. I think it's such an attractive hobby, and I think it's genuinely such a good hobby. So let's go hang out on the golf course. Where else? Obviously church. I personally am very, very Christian, but there is a difference between the lukewarm Christian and the actual Christian. I've dated guys in the past that have said that they're Christian, but they're not going to church and they're not living by the Bible every single day. And if that is an important part in dating for you, like as it is for me, you want to find those types of men that are genuinely living by the Bible and prioritizing God in their everyday lives, not just saying that they're a believer. There's believers in God, and then there's the ones that truly follow God. So again, if you were looking for a man that could be a future husband someday, go to church, go to those youth groups, I personally love the like young adult groups. The next is the workplace / networking events. It is never a good idea to date within the office. That is not what I'm saying. But if there are other people in the industry at different companies that you happen to meet, totally. Like, you guys obviously have the same interest. Or say you're at a networking event and it's someone in a different industry, but obviously someone that's very hardworking, has the same interests, you guys have a lot in common. That is 100% a good place to be intentionally dating. Next, this goes along with the networking events, but joining clubs where those high value men would be hanging out. So say the country club, the golf course, that social club where you go and get food and more of that exclusive, nicer environment. Next, 1000%. This is the number one place to find a husband. I mean, church in this, at least this goes for my type of men. But the gym. You need to be going to the gym. If fitness is a big part of your life, you want your future partner to also have that as a big part of their lives. I personally could never date someone where the gym was not part of their livelihood. Like, I'm a bikini competitor. It's genuinely my life besides work, and your partner needs to be able to understand that and respect that. But you want to go to the nicer gyms too. You don't want to go to like the 24-hour fitness. That's probably not the crowd that you want to be looking for your husband in, but you want to get those nice gym memberships. You want to go to the Lifetime. You want to go to the smaller boutique-y gyms, and that might be where the businessman that is also gym boy is going to the gym. And you know what? That adds up like crazy. I started talking to this guy recently, and we were going to the gym together, and he was like, oh, you should get a new membership at this gym I go to, then we can like start going together. I was like, okay, perfect. Find out the gym membership is like $200 a month, and I'm like, shoot, I did not have that budgeted, so I had to figure out something really quick because I didn't want to lose my chance. And I just opened up my PayPal account and transfer over $200 into my checking. Completely forgot I had it. And it's all from this app called PayMe that literally just pays you for settlements, and money went into my account that quick. And then I got this new gym membership and now can work out with this man. So worth it.